Fat Dag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, Fat Dag.
Cheers. I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. I believe in you. I don't know if that ever sinks in. I know I say it at the opening of every show. I want you to understand what I mean by that. What I mean by that is what you're trying to do is doable. Thousands of people in front of us have done it. And people continue to do it. People continue to live a healthy, happy life. People who have things going on far deeper than what we've ever experienced. They've done it. They continue to do it. As you watch them succeed, it doesn't take long for us to go, well, if they can do it, then I can do it. And so I did that. And now I watch you guys one by one, you're doing that. I believe every single person has the ability to get this done if that is what you put your effort towards to get it done. Welcome to episode 241 of Wise Advice. For those joining us we're live on Facebook tonight. We're also live on Twitter for the first time in a long time. YouTube did not record live, so those of you joining on Twitter and Facebook, thank you for being here, which means you can catch the replay on Twitter, the Wise Advice account. Turn notifications on if you'd like, and you'll never miss an episode. I tweet as instantly when I determine that I'm going to push out a live show. Twitter reminds you 15 minutes before, and then Twitter will automatically tweet saying that I'm live. Turn Wise Advice notifications on to get that. You can get the app out of the App Store. Go to your App Store. Look for Wise Advice with Fat Dag and get the app to do that as well. Makes it a lot more fun when you guys join in live. I tell you that. I've contemplated more than once being able to just do a podcast without doing the live show, and because so many of you listen, the app. The downloads are well into the thousands per episode. Within 24 hours, each episode is downloaded like almost 2,000 to 3,000 times, and then it grows to about 10,000 downloads per episode. And it's just incredible numbers. And so I keep thinking like, well, I just need to put out more podcast and then not do the live show. But I honestly, the live show is way more fun for me. It's more fun to hang out with you guys and interact with you. So hopefully more and more of you can join us online. I think it's a lot more fun in that regard. But if not, I get it. As long as you're listening, I think that's all that matters. Out of Sunnyvale, California, Stephanie is listening for sure. She writes in and says, Happy New Year, new me. Hi, Mike. I hope you're doing well. First and foremost, I want to send love to you and your family for all that you've been have going on. I don't want to get into the personal stuff on air, but you're doing some heavy lifting right now. I just want you to know that you have Team Fat Dag on your side. We are here for you. It's been a crazy few months, but so much has been going on. I'm so much clearer on every level now. The holidays, starting from October, were messy, I won't lie. I liken these past few months to that of a huge knotted ball of yarn that I had to untangle just recently. It's amazing what a little time off from a chronically stressful job can do. Each thread is equally important. Motherhood, daughterhood, workerhood, wifehood, all of it. It got very tangled. I had some time to rethink and reboot over the holiday, and some very astonishing realizations floated to the surface. I cannot change that which I am unwilling to change. I wanted the holidays to feel normal. I wanted to splurge and eat like there was no tomorrow. I didn't want to track because for some really eye-opening reasons, obsessing about food was bringing up the worst in me and my dysfunctional eating history. Combined with chronic work stress, that dysfunction got out of control. So I let things slide for the holidays intentionally, and I'm perfectly okay with that and the weight gain that accompanied that decision. The choice served me at the time, and I was willing to let bygones be bygones and move forward. Until I just recently noticed something. My son, Well, I notice him every day, but recently I've been paying more attention to his eating habits and his little expanding waistline. I saw him eating to quell his stress. I saw him eating like I do when I'm overwhelmed. I saw him get very upset with me when I withheld a few extra sweet treats. I saw him sweating hard because he was unable to physically do what he used to do with ease. Whoa, 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 huge red flag. What have I done? I know as a parent that it's up to us to mirror good behavior for them to follow. Had I failed him and me? Yes, I have. And darn it, if I'm going to let him struggle down that same chubby path that I did when I was younger and still face each and every day. I laid in bed last night breathing hard because of the extra weight gain and tiredness, and mentally promised him and myself to change. He's one of my whys. When he said to me a few months back, "Mommy, you look old, you look tired. I want you to get your hair and your nails done and get a ball gown." He wanted me to take better care of myself, and that fell on my deaf ears. Until now. Today, I tracked 2 meals. I went for a long walk to step away from the stress of work and recenter. I listened to your podcast. Gosh, how I've missed it. And I'm recommitting myself. I know I can get this done. I know I can change, if not for myself and for my own health, then for my gorgeous boys. Thank you for listening. Best, Stephanie. Stephanie, what a heartbreaking email, but I'm incredibly proud of you for understanding it, recognizing it, and then finding a plan to make that go forward. So here's where I want to jump right into your email. I don't want to get any deeper. I don't want to get any, beat around the bush, I guess. Yes, you're absolutely right. Our children are absolutely watching everything we do. Whether you like it or not, the actions that you do speak much louder than the words that you say. It's true. And so I'm so proud of you for recognizing that. And I'm proud of you for recognizing it at a point where you can actually do something about it. Now certainly allow that to be your why, but let's take it one step beyond that. And you're not necessarily doing it for him. You're doing it for you, and he benefits. Slightly different. Because if you take care of you and the things that you purchase and the choices that you make and the decisions that you make, he has not very much of an option but to follow what's going on in the family household. So you are able to do this for you. So I understand the holiday season, the normal, what we call the normalcy of, the holiday meals and the cookies and the sweets. And, it seems like it's customary to bake a batch of cookies and take them to the neighbors or whatever you do. Make sure that, there's plenty of food around it. If you can't walk 20 feet without finding a cookie in the Christmas holiday season. They're everywhere. So I understand that that's how we were raised, that's how we were brought up, that's what our culture kind of does, but it doesn't mean we have to overdo it. It doesn't mean the cookies are bad. It doesn't mean that we can't have them. We have to learn the moderation piece of this. I'm a huge, huge proponent of there is nothing on this journey that is bad for you. There are choices that are aligned with your goal. There are choices that don't necessarily align with your goal in the current moment. But you can fit everything in if you understand its place. And that's probably the hardest thing for us to grasp. We want to splurge and eat like there's no tomorrow, but the reality is you can't do that 3 to 4 meals a day. Once or twice, it's not going to have a dire impact to your journey. So when you get to the point where we continue to track, and in some cases, in my case, for example, the tracking is a little bit dysfunctional to me. And so cutting the food in half, there was a time and a place for me where that worked perfectly. Now I have to be a little more loose in that because I need the freedom of knowing that I have the ability to understand what a good choice looks like in my current situation. And I'm building on that and I'm learning on that. And it sounds like we should probably talk offline and more into that realm. But there was a point in my journey where I needed that discipline. I needed to be taught what the limits were. And tracking did that for me. Tracking got me to the point where I now understood that probably the most beneficial thing I learned was that I didn't need nearly as much food as I was giving myself. And so having that hard stop of when you're out of points, stop eating points, that hard roadblock of you're done for the day, go to bed. That hard roadblock is what taught me that I'm able to survive. More than once that I went to bed at 6 o'clock at night because I was out of points, and I woke up the next day and I woke up. I'm like, okay, you can survive. So those hard limits of tracking are very vital to the education. What you do with that education later, different altogether. I'm proud of you for intentionally letting things slide, and in more so, I'm proud of you for accepting the fact that is going to come with weight gain. Now, if you understand that and you intentionally let it slide with understanding and accepting the weight gain, then now we have to take it one step further and say, okay, wait a minute. If I do that again, maybe I can limit it by the choices that I make. So that's what I want you to focus on. I want you to, the term that we use often is be the prize, right? Model the behavior that you want to see in the world. Not just in your kids and the rest of the world. What do you want the world to look like? And just go out and do that. I'm telling you, all over the place, people are watching. And people watch everything that you do. Some notice it, some are inspired by it and take action. And they will take notice. So continue to be the prize. Your children will catch up. And I want to take one more thing, just as a word of caution, and I'm confident that you're in this right mindset. I just want to make sure that we do one thing is, right now, boys are very vulnerable. And so I wouldn't approach it, and I'm not telling you how to parent, so don't take it that way, but I wouldn't approach this in a situation where what he's doing is harmful or bad. I would simply approach it, and I almost wouldn't say a word. I would just make the slight modifications in his diet, in the family diet, where he just doesn't understand and he just benefits from it. When you start labeling foods as good or bad, that's when our brains start really getting involved and messing with us a little bit. So that's what I want you to focus. I want you to just make the adaptations. And, when we start saying things like, I'm terrible, I was bad last night, the signals that we're sending can be damaging. And I don't want you to do that to yourself. And I certainly don't want you to do that for him. I appreciate the opening of your email, the thoughts and prayers from Team Fat Dag. Having you guys on my side, truly thank you for sure for that. So, last piece for your email that I want to hit that I highlighted was you said, I cannot change that which I am unwilling to change. If you think about that for a second, that's what this whole journey is about. And I would never put it to the point where I would say, do you want this bad enough? Because I don't believe that's the answer. I think we all want this bad enough. I don't think there's anybody that is watching the show, who listening to the show, that says, no, I don't want this. I'm just listening for the heck of it. So I don't use the phrase, do you want it bad enough? If you do, go do it. Because that's not true. That's not how we're wired. We all want it bad enough. There's no question about that. The question comes into, though, am I willing to make the change? Am I willing to kind of try something new? Am I willing to deviate? Am I willing to take that risk? That's kind of different, and that's what I want you to do is be willing to try some things, knowing that it's not going to have a really bad impact. Make the slight modifications, can change it, and then what'll happen is 2, 3, 4 years from now, you said what you wanted was you wanted the holidays to feel normal. I want the holidays to feel normal for you, but what I want to do is redefine what the definition of normal is. Right? If you go to, there are many houses where the definition of normal is stuff that we wouldn't call normal. And so I want us to get to the point where we say, yeah, normal. I'm happy with this because it's working and it's getting me to my goal. So Stephanie, thanks for your email. Thanks for listening. I'm glad you found the podcast again. Folks, this was a great plug for the app. Go to the Wise Advice app store. Go to the app store, download the Wise Advice app. It puts it on your phone. You don't have to go digging for it. Put it right next to your Facebook app or whatever app you use the most. Move it around on your screen. Put it next to Instagram. At some point, it'll remind you when, 3-4 months from now, when you're surfing Instagram and you're tired of you're losing your focus and that app is sitting right next to it on your screen. I think that'll be a little bit of a reminder to get you going. So Stephanie, thank you. And I also want to give you a special shout out. Folks, you know I had a speaking engagement in Washington, D.C. not too long ago. And just before the night before, I had my presentation all ready to go. And I put in the Patreon community to say, folks, I have my presentation ready. I want to do a dry run with you guys. And Stephanie said, hey, if you don't mind, can you shoot it to me and I'll help you. And so I shot her the PowerPoint. She made some dramatic, beautiful improvements to the PowerPoint. And within a couple hours, shot it back to me. And she's just an amazing godsend to do that. At a time when I needed some help, I didn't even know I needed help. And she cleaned it up beautifully for me. And it was actually quite nice. So I appreciate that. Big shout out to you for sure for doing that. Next email comes in out of New York City. Stella writes in, says, hi, Mike. So I'm sitting here on New Year's Eve reflecting on the past year as we are expecting 25 people over my house, but I need to write in. The below is part of the letter. Happy New Year. 2018 was such a great year for me. I remember finding your podcast and writing in when I was about 23 pounds down. Now I'm at goal, having lost 72 pounds. I feel great and very stable mentally, which actually feels better than a goal weight. One thing that you taught me is to change my vocabulary. I am so aware of my words. The words hard, struggle, hope, wish, can't, and try very rarely come out of my mouth. When they do, I catch myself. I would like to thank you for that. Mentally, I feel strong, except for one area which I'd like to touch on: vacation. I feel that I'm in between two schools of thought. One is that I've completely changed my life, which means to me that when I'm on vacation, I should still make the same choices I would make when I'm home, because that's my life, right? The other school of thought is that when I'm on vacation, which means I need to find a balance in my choices, such as I can eat this now and then go back on track when I get home. I'm not talking about going off the rails completely. I'm talking about enjoying certain meals and just letting it be. Throughout my journey, I did enjoy certain meals and I still made it to goal. So why is it different when I'm on vacation? Maybe it's because of every meal out, or because I want the food more since we're celebrating. I'm not sure. The emphasis on food when on vacation makes me feel uncomfortable. This may seem very simple to some, but to me it's a big deal. I have 2 vacations coming up soon, and I find myself thinking about this. Thanks for all that you do. I can't wait for the next New York City meetup. Hi to all on our Discord chats. I love you guys. Mondags will never be the same. Stella. Stella, awesome email. Congratulations on your 72-pound weight loss. Congratulations on you getting to goal. Congratulations on every bit of success in your life that you've earned. That you finally said you had enough, and you finally said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get it done. And you did that, and you persevered. 72 pounds. Wow. You're right. 2018 was an incredible year for you. You're feeling great, very stable mentally, which I agree with you. It feels way better than a goal weight. And so that's kind of where I've been living my life lately. And, I get that, we've had some stress, we've had some struggle here. But mentally, I'm really dialed in. Mentally, I'm strong, and I get what that side of this journey looks like. And that's why I'm confident that goal is a feeling. Goal is how you look, goal is how you present yourself, not necessarily how you look. Goal is do you like yourself enough to make sure that you're taking care of yourself? That's goal. And so you're right, ditching the words hard, struggle, hope, wish, can't, and try. It's important. Our minds and our brain is always listening to everything we have to say. And you think about whatever you externally verbalize, your brain hears, your ears pick that up, and obviously you had to think it at some point as well. And so if you say that, it becomes because you said it, it becomes true. And so when you tell yourself, or when you say I'm struggling, or when you say it's hard and we say I can't, your body picks up on that. And what happens is subconsciously you try and prove yourself right. No one likes to doubt themselves. So as you continue to say words like hard, struggle, hope, can't, your body works very hard to prove you right. If you change all those words around and say, I'm doing excellent. How was your day? I'm fantastic. Your body will work hard, whether it's true or not. When you say it, your body will work to prove it right. Your body wants to please you. It has always wanted to please you. So the more that you can tell it you're doing great and believe it, the more you'll start making better choices. Think about walking into a party, a Christmas party, and say, when I walk into this party, there's no way I can avoid this food. It won't take you long before you just take a snack and try it. But if you walk in and say, you know what, I got this. I don't want any of it, or I'm so strong that there's nothing in here that can derail me. I've already had dinner, so I'm completely content. That you walk in there and you work very hard to not break that promise to yourself. And the negative self-talk, as Cheryl says online, is just so toxic. It's so detrimental to everything that we do. So prove yourself right all the time. Use the right words, and I get rid of, hope is not a plan. I don't wish you luck on this journey. I wish you good focus, right? You don't say you can't, you can. You absolutely can. Do or do not, as Yoda says, there is no try. Anyway, you get the point, and thanks for picking up on that. Now, let's talk about your vacation question, because I agree with you. Now, you're fortunate enough where you get more than one vacation a year, so congrats there. But here's the deal. So when we get to the point, the way you have success on this journey is by what you do most often. Whatever you do most often is your routine. Your routine sets your course. Your course determines your destiny. So if you were to go on vacation every other week, it's a much different strategy than if you go on vacation once every 5 years. So you have to figure out in your world what you want out of this journey and what routines are you setting. If you set a routine that puts you down a healthy path, that gets you eating better, working out regularly, and that is your routine, then when you go on vacation, you're going to feel off center. You're going to feel out of your routine. You'll have fun, you'll have a blast, but you'll know something is missing. And that's the kind of vacation where suddenly you're bringing your running shoes on vacation, or suddenly you're eating better because it just actually your routine says that's what you do. So I don't want you to overthink this. I really don't, and I don't want to not answer your question, but I don't want you to overthink it. I think you're down 72 pounds. I think you look fantastic. I think you feel fantastic. I think mentally you're focused, dialed in. I don't think a single vacation is going to kick you off of that train. I don't think a second vacation is going to do that. I think what's going to happen is that you're going to get on this vacation and yeah, you're there to enjoy everything. So there are going to be things that, an extra glass of wine because you're on vacation. Yeah, enjoy it. Find a way to just, get to the point where you're not beating yourself up, and dreading your vacation because you have to eat out 3 meals a day. Think about that in the vacation world. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks and dessert. Almost every time you got to go to a restaurant. In most cases, that meal you're going to get at breakfast is probably enough points to carry you through the day, or at least through the app. So now at some point you got to balance it. So, some people, when they go on vacation, they, say, well, we'll have a great dinner, but we're going to have breakfast in the hotel, or we're going to have breakfast at the resort, or wherever you're staying. But back to where I don't want you to overthink it. What I want you to do is I want you to enjoy your vacation. I want you to know that your routines that you have established got you down 72 pounds. You didn't get there on accident. You got there by deliberately setting a path and a routine to get it done. Go on your vacation. Enjoy your vacation. Be mentally smart. Stay dialed in. Stay focused. Download the app, listen to the podcast while you're there, go for a walk, go for a run, do something fun. And when you get back, confidently know that the routine that you built is home waiting for you. And that's the routine that got you to goal. That's the things that you did that made your life fantastic. So that's what I want you to focus on. So Stella, thank you. Always the Mundag chats are fun. We chat every Monday. For those in the Patreon community, we chat every Monday through Discord, through an app. It's a text chat. So even if you're at work, you can kind of sneak in on it. But it makes Mondays a lot more fun from 2 to 3 every afternoon. Looks like we do that. And so Stella, it's always fun to see you. Missed you this week though. Very, very much so. But I know we'll be back. The last email today comes in from Jolene. She says, hey, Wingman, and she's joining us live on Facebook. She says, hey, Wingman, it's almost New Year, and I'm so close to hitting my 100 pounds lost. I'm at minus 97 pounds. With this upcoming milestone in a new year, I've been doing a lot of reflecting on my journey. I've been slowly chipping away at this weight for the last 7.5 years. There were times of complacency. There were times of being off program and gaining some back. Thankfully, I've kept on despite the generous timetable. As I reflect on who I was almost 100 pounds ago, it reminds me of my why. 100 pounds ago, I was in so much pain. Getting out of bed, walking any amount stairs was almost impossible on my knees, and the fatigue. I can't even describe in words how awful I felt. I was practically bedridden. At age 29, with 3 children, this was no way to live. Then I got diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, something that finally explained all my health problems since I was born. There was no real cure or treatment. Patients with this get progressively worse with age. We produce faulty collagen, and since every part of our body is made of collagen, it can affect any part of the body. Our joints dislocate frequently, skin issues, digestive issues, etc. No 2 patients are the same in their symptoms. I feel like this was my turning point. I knew it was up to me to make this body work to the best of its ability. My body will always have its malfunctions. I will most likely add to the over 10 surgeries I've had already. Unless I get this weight off, it's only going to add to the complications that I will face. I have about 32 pounds to goal, but this transformation has been incredible. I am no longer stuck in bed due to the pain. I can walk long distances. I can take my kids to the trampoline park and jump for hours with them. I am happy, and I've learned how to better deal with my emotions. I listen to your podcast every day for at least an hour to help me get focused. A big thanks for all you do for us listeners and your wife for sharing your time with us. And a shout out to the great Connect community. Good focus to all of us in the new year. We can do this. Jolene, how freaking awesome is that? What a cool testament to what we are after on this journey. You have saved your life. You have given yourself a gift of life. There is no greater gift. That's the most important thing you can give you and your family is your health. And you did that. And so I don't care that it took 7.5 years. I'm proud of you for making it take 7.5 years. And I want it to take another 100 years for you because I want you to live a long, healthy, happy life. I understand the struggles you're going through. I understand the medical challenges that were dealt to you. But those were the ones that were dealt to you outside of your control. The piece now that you have the control over is what are you going to do with the hand that you've been dealt? And you're pulling out all the stops and you're going for it here, and no longer being stuck in bed and being able to walk and jump on the trampoline with your kids. I can't even imagine the first time that you realized that you were able to do that. I would be confident that the tears would be flowing when you realize the gift that you have given them. You're absolutely right. We can do this. You just never know what you're capable of till you get pushed against the wall, and you finally had that turning point where you understood that it wasn't entirely you. There was something else going on, and then you decided to take that and benefit from it. That's what put you down 97 pounds. That's what made you a complete success, is that you're a fighter and a champion and a winner. And you said, I am going to win. I'm going to save myself. And you did that. Your body may always have the malfunctions, but your brain is no longer malfunctioning. Your brain is dialed in. Your brain is locked in. Your brain understands that 32 pounds to goal. I would say you're actually at goal. The scale just has no idea. The scale is being stubborn at this point. The scale says, wait a minute, we have to weigh this magic number. If you would take this number, take the numbers out of your equation, and you ask someone, hey, I can't walk, I'm bedridden, my knees hurt, I can't climb stairs, and all I want is to do is be able to jump on a trampoline for hours. No one on the planet would ask you what your current weight and starting weight were. No one would care. The only people that care about this are people who are tied to this number of we must weigh a certain amount. You went from not being able to get out of bed, not being able to walk, to jumping on a trampoline for hours. I could care less what the scale says. Zero concern about the number on the scale. What I'm concerned about is that the lifestyle that you've given yourself, the new life that you've given yourself, that you maintain that you preserve that you understand how precious the gift that you've given yourself is, and you strive hard to continue with that, regardless of what the number says. But you now know what that feeling is, and that's a feeling I don't ever want you to let go. I want you to continue to work your tail off. I want you to continue to celebrate every single thing that you've done. What you've done is amazing. What you have done is completely, I've said it a million times, what you've done is completely changed your life. And it's time that you jump up and down and celebrate. Folks, what is it that you're celebrating? Let's go ahead and share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com, click on the Wise Advice podcast. Send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. You can email in at onair@fatdag.com. If you email in, go ahead and add the city you're from and whatever pertinent contact information you want for social media. I found a way to add that to the screen so that we can share with the community as well. But I'll work all of this into the show. I've said it more than once. I want you to celebrate what you're doing, because I want you to be proud of it. I want you to be so proud of what you're doing that the world just needs to know who you are. You know who you are, the community knows who you are, but it's time the entire planet knows who you are, knows what you've done, and knows that it is possible to get it done. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you could focus. Thank you for listening to the Wise Advice Podcast. Did you know for as little as $1 a month, you can take the next step as a wingman and support the show? Visit fatdag.com, click on Become a Patron today.